and it was Pierre Trudeau who opened relations. Pierre Trudeau's opening relations, Justin Trudeau's closing them, and it's time for him to step up.
Conservative MP Aaron O'Toole slamming the Trudeau Liberals for their handling of a diplomatic crisis with China. He says he has no confidence the government has a plan to resolve the issue of Canadians detained there.
What we heard gave us no sense of confidence that there's a plan to resolve this, that there's a clear plan with respect to the Canadians detained, or whether there may be more detained in the coming weeks.
MPs met in Ottawa today to discuss 2 Canadians detained in China and 1 facing execution. China detained 2 Canadian citizens and sentenced 1 to death shortly after a prominent Chinese businesswoman was detained here in Canada. Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou was arrested December 1st in Vancouver. The Prime Minister addressed the situation today from a cabinet retreat in Quebec.
One of the things that is of concern in this situation is the apparent blending of Chinese commercial interests with Chinese political positioning and consequences.
Robert Schellenberg is the Canadian man facing death after being found guilty of drug smuggling. Canada has asked for clemency in his case.
First and foremost responsibility we have is to ensure the safety of the Canadians, the 2 Canadians who have been arbitrarily detained, and the 3rd Canadian who's seen the death penalty arbitrarily applied to them.
Canada's ambassador to China, John McCallum, updated MPs behind closed doors. He hopes to enlist more allies to help advocate for the 3 Canadians.
And I think what we do is that we engage Canadians and foreigners, friends, to reach out to Chinese leaders, to Chinese business people, to convince them that the path China is on is not in China's interest.
Despite the calls for Trudeau to personally reach out to China's president, McCallum says that should be left as a last resort.
The Prime Minister will do that at the appropriate time. The Prime Minister calling the President is essentially the last arrow in our quiver, and I think other actions have to be taken first.
McCallum would not say what those next actions could be. In Ottawa, Nigel Newlove, City News.